I'm gonna need you guys to help me out with this real quick because for some reason I remember having an incredibly negative feeling toward Dwayne the Rock Johnson recently.
Let me rephrase. I'm here for stealing from cops in theory, maybe less so in practice.
About like 5 minutes into, or maybe like 10 minutes into watching the movie, I'm like, oh, like Mario was like, this is dubbed badly, and I was like, is it? And then when it, like, as soon as it got up close to the character's face, I was like, oh my god, this is dubbed terribly. When I was younger, my cousin named her dog after Mel Gibson.
That's rough. That's
Why?
extremely rough.
Because she liked Mel Gibson a lot. This was before the incident.
That's very rough.
I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable. I feel like a lot of people had a lot of love for Mel Gibson before the incident.
Yeah, I don't know much about. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't that old, when the incident took place, so I don't really remember a pre-crazy Mel Gibson or a pre-what he did Mel Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that when we were growing up, my cousin had a dog named Mel.
Wow,
named after Mel Gibson.
That's something special. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I know it was kind of crazy.
That is absolutely,
because the dog lived well past the incident.
I mean, good for the dog for living past the incident, not letting it define for the dog, them.
Yeah. No, it was actually kind of a rude, kind of a mean dog.
Oh, so the dog was aptly named, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think so. The dog was kind of shitty.
At what point do you rename your animal? Like if I had
tough.
Like if I had a dog that I had named after Bill Cosby, right? At what point do I just say, well, throw the whole dog out?
Well, what did you name? Did you name your dog Bill? Did you name it Cosby?
I feel like
because if you named it Bill, you're just like, yeah, I named my dog after Bill Nye. Boom.
Yeah.
You just changed.
Yeah. You just lie. But Cosby is rough. Like if you named your dog Cosby, that's a yikes.
Here's the thing. It's one of those things where it's like you did it before you knew, because it's one of those things where like no one knew, or many people didn't know.
Yeah, you gotta change your dog. You gotta give him a nickname. That's the strategy.
Yeah.
That way they'll still be able to understand and respond to it, but you don't have to admit that their full name is that.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable. All right.
But I've never felt like renaming animals works, because you have to catch them really young. Like if you get a puppy with a dumb name, then that's one thing. But like,
yeah, if it's a cat, you can just call it whatever, whenever. It's not going to change anything.
Well, see, I was thinking more along the lines of like, if your puppy's named like, I don't know, Aloysius, and you're like, I hate that. You can save that still. But if your grown ass dog is named Aloysius and it knows it's named Aloysius, you can't fix
that's
that.
swag as hell. Why would you want to change that?
Well, it's a hypothetical.
Also,
I picked a name that no one could possibly not love and decided to use that as the example, so we would all know it's absurd.
You picked a good name.
I think that people wildly underestimate how retrainable dogs are. That's my take. I think while there is the phrase that like, oh, old dog, new tricks, whatever, that's really not like an accurate phrase. It takes more work, but you absolutely could change the name of your dog and get it to respond to a new name as it got older. Absolutely.
But like from the dog's standpoint, I see no reason to do that to them.
Oh, no, that's super fair.
Like, yeah,
that's
you could teach the dog a new name, but like,
why would
your dog doesn't know that it was named after Bill Clinton, so like,
well, yeah, because that would be a swag name, as we established. Not gonna take that one. All right, fair enough.
I used to have a horse in Minecraft named Bill Clinton.
That's very good.
I had a horse in Minecraft named JFK, and it was one of the bone horses.
That's I like it, but I don't like that I like it,
Coward.
Mostly how I feel about you all the time, actually.
Coward.
Yes.
So anyway, it's a recording day. How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing good.
Nice. I am so tired, and I'm trying to not let that play into what we're doing too much.
How tired are you?
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying not to let that play into what I'm doing too much, but I do apologize if I'm a little bit quiet today. It is distinctly possible.
It's not okay, actually, Noah. You're not allowed to be tired. You are here to entertain us.
Oh, shit, dude. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Just us. Nobody else.
I mean, it is what it is, though, right?
Dude,
I kind of... We haven't talked, like, current personal events in a hot minute, because we've been intentionally leaving it vague because we've been recording a little bit in advance. So we've been, avoiding current events, avoiding personal, like, activities. But when this episode drops, I'll be in Seattle. No, wait. When this episode drops, I'll be back from Seattle. When the last episode dropped, we recorded that ages ago. And this whole thing has been messing with my timeline so heavily, it's not even funny. I don't know.
Which is wild to me.
What, that it's messing with my timeline?
You would think that at this point we have enough of a grasp on like how many episodes are left, but no, the answer is no. I honestly, God, can never remember what episode come out. Like what episode comes out whenever.
They come out every Thursday at 12 a.m.
Okay, but like also.
I mean, I thought I was the only one that ever had like a grasp on when, like, especially when we shake up the schedule outside of, yeah, it comes out on a Thursday, every Thursday, 12 a.m. Central. It's a great time. I've kind of assumed that I was
really Central.
Good.
I'm sorry, 12 a.m. Eastern. You're right. Apparently, I don't even know when the episodes come out, and I'm the one that schedules them.
That's right. Off the years moved to Central Time, everybody. Central Time.
I actually had considered for a while putting us on Central Time. Because
why?
Well, my thought was everyone who are not on Central Time, but on West Coast Time. Because my thought was that way everyone in the States, it's tomorrow by the time the episode comes out, so it would always be Thursday.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, Central doesn't make sense because that's not.
No, it absolutely didn't. That's why I was very confused.
But yeah, I thought about it for a while, but obviously we opted to not do that because we aren't doing it now.
Are you sure?
Well, you know what? No, I'm not. I thought I was, but we need to change the topic. I got nothing here. I need some help.
Noah's rapidly deteriorating.
Krampus came out.
Aww. Krampus is out.
Hi, Krampus. Do you want to be on the podcast? Do you want to be Krampus on the podcast?
Krampus.
No? Okay. She doesn't want to be. I believe I did talk about the laser pointer last week, didn't I?
I think you and I talked about the laser pointer, but I think that was it.
I got a laser pointer. This cat goes insane.
Wow.
I've never seen an animal so destructive as when the laser pointer is out.
That's very good though.
Nice.
She's having a great time. She loves it. But you gotta mix it up. You can't just do the laser pointer. I feel like I did talk about this on the episode Noah and I did. I'm gonna actually face the microphone now and not play with the laser pointer. I watched some movies.
What'd you watch?
Oh, nice.
Do tell.
I watched a couple. I watched a let me make sure I get the name of this one right.
Ooh, a deep cut.
Wait, it's a little bit of a deep cut here. It is called A Classic Horror Story. It is a 2021 film. It is.
Is it a classic?
I'm going to go on a limb and say anything that markets itself as a classic anything is not.
Well, I think it doesn't quite hit up there with like the greats in terms of like satirical horror movies. But you can tell it's very much trying to be like a Cabin in the Woods-ish kind of movie. Not obviously not like frame by frame, which is good because you don't want to do that. No. But it definitely, I could tell from the very start it was trying to be subversive in some capacity. Which worked for me in the movie's favor because I was like, the whole time I was like, what if it's like this kind of thing? Or what if this is what's actually going on? What if there's like, like thinking about all these like possible theories. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I did at a point guess correctly.
Nice.
But that didn't ruin anything because even my correct guess, I still kept guessing afterwards because I wasn't positive on it.
I like movies that are like
dub,
you can guess, but you never feel confident enough to like lock down that guess.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt on it.
That's how you know it's a good, like, well laid out movie.
Yeah, there was definitely some times where I was like, oh, well, maybe that guess isn't right. Maybe that's too obvious almost.
But not like in a bad way. Not where it's like, no, there's no way they'd be stupid enough to try this idea. It's too obvious.
Exactly. There's the opposite side of I definitely know how this is going to play out, in which it is, I really hope this isn't going to go how I guess it will.
See, the thing is, I was like, it's too obvious. But at the same time, I was also like, but this movie seems smart enough and self-aware enough that obvious thing might not actually be obvious. And then it kind of like, loop back around. I was like, oh, wait. Nah, it was. Or maybe it wasn't. It was all right. It wasn't great. The funniest thing about it all was the dub was awful.
Oh, nice.
So about like 5 minutes into, or maybe like 10 minutes into watching the movie, I'm like, oh, Mario was like, this is dubbed badly. And I was like, is it? And then when it, like, as soon as it got up close to the character's face, I was like, oh my god, this is dubbed terribly.
I do love a good poorly dubbed movie.
It's hilarious because it's overall it's a pretty good movie, but it's an awful dub. And it's so funny because half the time the dub uses natural sounds and like they do kind of like a similar setting, like they're not just dubbing it in like a room with nothing else. And then pretty much anytime a character is yelling, you can tell it's just a single person in a soundproof soundstage yelling into a microphone, and there is no editing done to the audio to make it feel in any way natural.
Oof.
And it's hilarious.
That's pretty good.
But that's also very funny.
It's hilarious. And like the dub was so poorly done. But I also like we were like kind of far into the movie by the time the dub was bad, and not just bad in terms of like badly executed and too obvious, but like actually just not well done, like not well executed, and just like the quality of it was clearly like unprofessional. But it was kind of too late to turn back, so we just watched the entire movie in the dub instead of going to the original, which was Italian. Movie was supposed to be Italian. It was made. It's an Italian film. I'm almost positive. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's worth watching if it's on. If you got nothing else going on and you want to watch a movie that's kind of satirical, kind of genre aware, but at the same time still kind of fucked up in its own way.
Okay.
It's nowhere near A Cabin in the Woods though. It's nothing. But I feel like it'll be a while maybe before we get a horror movie that tops Cabin in the Woods.
I can agree with that. In that
the
satire range.
Yeah, not in general, but
movie. Because I would argue we have several movies that have beat Cabin in the Woods as a simple movie.
Absolutely. As a simple movie, yeah. But like in terms of like a horror like satire that's like also still a horror movie.
One that parodies itself but also still fulfills the tropes that it's trying to parody.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like it's because I don't know. I've talked about Cabin in the Woods several times. It's just so fun.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good movie because you're like, man, this movie knows it is a good satirical horror movie, and it's also genuinely a good horror movie with some good scares.
Yeah.
You know what horror movie franchise I really like, and I will not back down on this point?
What?
Which one?
The Conjuring.
I think that's pretty reasonable. It depends on who you talk to. There's some.
I'm not talking about The Conjuring 1, directed by James Wan in 2012. I'm talking about The Conjuring verse.
That's a hot take
area here.
Dan, so that you're more familiar, there's a lot of opinions surrounding The Conjuring as a franchise. The main ones being people are mad about the fact that it's kind of like Catholic propaganda, the movie.
Okay.
It definitely is.
Goodness knows we don't have any of that in our media.
Exactly.
Like imagine getting a demon from Hebrew mythology and being like, yeah, no, it speaks Latin. Oh no, it only responds to Latin.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, the Roman Catholic Church only paid us a couple million, but the demons definitely all only speak Latin and can only be exorcised by Roman Catholic priests.
Is that weird that like the trope of demons speaking Latin, or at least part of the trope, the commonality, I should say, of demons speaking Latin comes from?
The Conjuring or the Catholic Church?
Well, no, obviously the Catholic Church, but specifically
because it's been around longer than The Conjuring. The Conjuring's a pretty recent film.
In current I think modern pop culture.
I would say
like The Exorcist. Definitely. And like actual exorcisms, I believe they do speak Latin.
Mm-hmm. And that's primarily because that's like the Catholic holy language. Like all the important stuff is said in Latin.
Which again is funny to me because it's none of it was written in Latin and none of it was created in Latin. You're talking about Greek and Hebrew.
Not fully true. Some of it was written in Latin. The Book of Luke, for example.
I suppose so. Which one?
Luke, because Luke was a doctor and doctors spoke Latin.
Oh.
There's your Bible trivia.
So the Catholics get one. Give the Catholics one. But a lot of it, like what they're speaking about, it's just specifically with a lot of like the demon type mythology and the mythos surrounding those. Most of them are Hebrew. Like most of them are from Jewish mythology, and then have been retroactively adopted into Catholicism.
As with many
I was gonna say
spiritual elements of Catholicism.
Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously, like there is a pretty strong link between the two, and obviously, I'm no religious scholar, but I can kind of point to a guy who named a little guy named Abraham. Maybe you've heard of him.
No, I haven't actually.
No. What's he do?
Oh.
I love the Binding of Isaac.
Fucked up stuff, some pretty cool stuff, and his wife, She may have got done a little bit dirty. That's all I gotta say.
Damn. Nailed the story from what I know.
Cheat on wife, kill son?
Yeah, dude. Isn't that how it works?
Kill goat.
Was it kill son?
No, it was you. Maybe, almost. No, we killed goat. Gotcha.
It was kill son, JK lol.
The OG psych.
Okay, so that is the OG psych moment, right?
Thank you. Okay, let's not talk. Okay, I want to talk about the Conjuring verse. I don't want to talk about like.
Oh, that's right. I never finished. Okay, so Dan, a lot of people's opinions on the Conjuring are that it's normie horror for normies, and people who are into the Conjuring are traditionally people who are not as into horror, and horror snobs get uppity about that. So if you're the kind of person that's like, yeah, I like horror movies. Oh, what do you like? Oh, I like The Conjuring, and then you're going to get one of the biggest eye roll emojis that you've ever seen.
So it's bad people having bad takes about movies.
No, well, not fully, not really. Because some of the Conjuring verse, I was going to say a lot of the Conjuring verse sucks ass. But
I mean, my take on, like, I think they're just amazing, like, popcorn horror movies.
They definitely are.
I don't, like, I mean, a lot of horror isn't necessarily the strongest in terms of like storytelling presence. There's definitely been a lot of improvement, but with that improvement, a lot of times people are like, remember guys, that means the only good horror movies are now the slow burn A24 horror movies. If it's not Midsommar, it's bad. I know, not really. Midsommar didn't like, is it scary? Yeah. Is it psychologically scary? That's what it's psychologically scary. You're like, that's pretty fucked up. Like wow, that's, that's a bad situation. It turned into a worse situation by a group of people taking advantage of people in a bad situation. That's scary. And like you see like, another Ari Aster, like Hereditary, you're like, yeah, again, this is pretty scary. But when you watch The Conjuring, they're like, look at this wall. And they're like, actually, none behind you. Ah! And like, you got me.
Dang, you sure did get me.
That's the 10th time that The Conjuring has done the noise in front of you. Noise behind you. And every time I'm like, that's a good one. I like that one.
Oh, The Conjuring, you've done it again.
You got
John
me
Conjuring.
And the thing is, like, when I'm watching the movies, like, I don't, like, okay, so for reference, I watched the newest Conjuring movie the other day in theaters, which was a lot of fun. It's the first time I've watched a horror movie in a theater in a long, long time, or really any movie in a theater in a long, long time. Except for the Demon Slayer movie. But it's been the first time I watched a horror movie in a theater, which is where I think they're the most fun since 2019 or maybe early 2020.
We saw Underwater in 2020, so that was the last one I saw in theaters.
I thought that was more of a comedy. Yeah, I think Underwater was the last time I saw a horror movie in theaters. The Conjuring 3 was fun. I thought it was good.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that.
Wasn't as amazing as some of the other movies have been, but I thought it was really fun. I watched it and I went, you got me to jump. Because when you watch it, it's important not to try and be smarter than the movie. Because the movie doesn't.
The movies are not so smart that it's a really formulaic thing. It's like, oh, Ed and Lorraine show up, and it's like, hey, we're gonna be out here. We're hunting a demon, and it's like, okay, cool. That's always fun.
Yeah.
But then why try and be smarter than that? The story, have fun with the story is usually where that lands.
I like to try and let myself really like watch them and not be like, well, they're gonna definitely do like one of like, there's gonna be like a guy with like a messed up face behind her, but they're gonna make you look in front of her. And I'm just like, instead of doing that, I'm just like, movie made sound in this direction, I'll look in that direction. Like, what am I trying to beat the movie for? It's not like, it's not real. Might as well see if I can let it make me jump. See if I can get out of the zone enough to make it catch me by surprise.
I think that's a lot of the time I sit there and I, not to brag, am really good at turning my brain off and watching movies.
I struggle with it sometimes, but
yeah, I'll end up watching like a really objectively not that great movie, but I'll think, oh yeah, this is great. And if someone were to ask me about it and I explain what this movie was, I won't be able to do a good job of making it sound good because I know it wasn't that good.
That might be me with a classic horror story, because I was admittedly a little bit toasty.
A little bit toasty, huh?
When watching that movie. And there was definitely a couple of times where I was like, we're watching the movie and I'm like, hey, Maury, what if it's actually like, what if it's like a time paradox and they're actually seeing their future selves turned into goats from the future? And Maury's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean,
like what are you talking about? I'm like, so what if it's like actually like purgatory, and this is meant to be a metaphor for like the fact that they have like sinned, and that's why there was a picture of Jesus at one point in the movie, and where he's like, you're actually like losing your mind, and I was like, and I just like kept sitting there like thinking of all these like ridiculous theories. None of them were. I was incredibly stupid about all of them, but what if I wasn't?
But what if
I would have been? I would have been the smartest guy in the room.
It's true. You would have been.
I was not.
If you weren't the dumbest guy in the room, you could have been the smartest guy in the room. You know,
yeah, this guy understands. That gets it.
I did actually watch a movie once where that was the twist. I can't remember the name of it now, but the whole thing ended up completing with like their haunted house was actually just echoes of their future, and it was because it was like a really like spiritually shattered site or something like that, that like because of that they were experiencing all kinds of weird stuff.
What is the movie? It's called Triangle. What? Is it called Triangle?
Pyramid? Not the one I'm thinking of.
The movie I'm thinking of. It's on a ship. They're on a boat. They get on a boat. They're haunting themselves. They're fighting themselves. They're in the future. Triangle.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, because it's like it starts out like.
Yeah, minor spoilers for kind of older movie, but it's like a time loop kind of. I don't remember it too well, but I do remember it like being it's actually that dead person is you from the future or something like that.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen that movie, and for the life of me, I cannot remember anything about it right now.
I'm remembering a little bit about it, but I don't want to go into it because it is actually like
a really good worth watching.
But I do remember it being really like jarring when you kind of like realize what's actually going on and then kind of more why it's going on.
Time paradox movies tend to be really bad, and that bums me out a lot.
Oh yeah,
because it's
so easy to fall apart.
Exactly. It's a Stephen King movie, The Tall Grass, based on a short story that, from all accounts, pretty good. But Tall Grass was bad. I guess the short story ended after 15 minutes of the movie went by, and then the movie was totally made up after that, trying to like work within the story like bounds.
Framework.
Yeah, framework, there it is. But the problem is, you know, when that happens, it's not exactly great, you know?
Dang.
Yeah, imagine. No, I can see that.
But yeah, it had a lot of that time paradox stuff too. Also, the movie Mind Games, generally canned movie, I thought was pretty fun. I actually, this is back in my 2-sentence review days where I would like keep a little Excel sheet of movies for myself so I would remember what I had watched. I remember making the note that I thought that they actually did the time like loop stuff quite well, and apparently I was one of the only people that thought that, because it was such a canned movie. No one liked it, and they specifically were shitting on the time loop stuff. Unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
I don't know. I kind of like time-based movies.
Because they're about time.
It's about time.
Yeah, thank you.
I think Triangle is really good if you like those kind of movies. But a classic horror story, I was just in my own head. Was not like that. Neither was The Conjuring. But The Conjuring 3 was pretty fun. I think it's a good change of pace from the first two, but it was definitely really, really cheesy. I'm also kind of split on like one of the things about The Conjuring that outside of like Catholic Church propaganda is kind of Ed and Lorraine Warren propaganda, because like really in reality, they were just like shitty scam artists who cost people a ton of money to do functionally nothing.
That's kind of what I've heard about this movie, is that this is the first one that really highlights the fact that this is the first one that they definitely could have been scamming the whole thing, because all the rest of them were real case and then the movie, but this is a movie that is the real case.
Yeah, it definitely, you're like, oh yeah, it's kind of very, very, very possible that they were just completely scamming things, which is not out of the question for people who made their living as ghost hunters.
Are you saying the ghost hunters are lying to me, Jackson? No.
Ghost hunters are definitely lying to you if they ask you for $300.
But what if they asked really nicely? Surely they didn't mean it in a bad way.
And it's definitely not. It's definitely way more than $300 because people are willing to give them quite a bit of money when they believe their lives have been saved.
Dang. Old.
Yikes.
But yeah. Which is kind of one of those things I thought about while watching the movie. I was like, how do I feel about psychics who help the police? Because on one hand, fuck 12. And on the other hand, fuck psychics. On the third hand,
dang, why you got a third hand?
I think they scamming, but also they're scamming the cops, so it's funny.
It's true.
You got me there.
But at the same time, it's not like they're scamming the cops, so it's funny because like that money is also coming from a place where police spending is already out of control and needs to be like cut back insanely, and that money is instead going towards people who are oftentimes caught in the middle of lies in investigations, and oftentimes will tell people your child is safe only for the child's body to be found and haven't been dead for the past month. Like it's not really like it's not from a good place, and it's not for a good reason.
Yeah.
But this isn't my hour to talk about how I don't like that stuff, because there's probably people who are a fan.
Mm-hmm. I do support stealing from cops. I think that's right.
I do, but kind of not, because if you're stealing from cops, you're stealing from the police budget, which is overblown, and you're giving it a bit of a reason to be overblown.
I mean, that's fair. I think that,
and it's not like the cops are giving you $20 out of their own pocket.
Yeah, let me rephrase. I'm here for stealing from cops in theory, maybe less so in practice.
Yeah, because it's not like the money is there anyway. The money is being budgeted and it's being taken from taxpayers and taken from social programs.
I can't believe Jackson thinks we live in a society.
I do actually think we live in a society, and I think that society has many deep flaws.
Damn. Old.
But The Conjuring 3, not one of them. It's pretty good.
Conjuring 3, not a deep flaw. Fun fact.
Wild how it's like.
I did wonder how you were going to pull yourself out of that weird hole.
It's one of those movies where I'm like, I can't tell you to go watch it, but if you like popcorn horror movies that are just like noisy and also like stupid, it's great. It's cheesy as hell. I'm pretty sure there's literally a line where they're like, remember guys, love is stronger than demons. And I'm like,
Is it? Because I feel like demons are stronger.
Do we know that?
Can I get a source?
I feel like, I need the source on that one. Because it's like also one thing that kind of there was definitely a part where they were like love broke demon curse or something like that. Not exactly, but something along those lines. And it also was one of those times where they're like, oh, like a holy symbol won't stop this demon. Like you can't just invoke the name of God against this demon because that won't work.
This demon is an atheist.
It's different. So exactly. I'm like, so
believe in God.
In a world where we're talking strictly within the Catholic mythos, it's kind of ridiculous to be like, remember, our personal love far stronger than God's love for us.
Yeah,
that's kind of a weird like.
It's a weird
it doesn't
take.
mesh with everything else you've built within this like, mythos. Like it doesn't add up because it's like, sure, do you love your like wife? Probably a lot. Hopefully a lot.
I would hope so.
Does that like mean that in a setting where you're using the like Catholic belief system as your like ultimate truth within the movie, does that make it so that you love your wife more than God loves you? Because I would argue that's kind of
sacrilegious at best.
A bit antithetical. It's a bit. It doesn't quite work like that. Because I'm pretty sure Sunscreen likes you a lot more than you could possibly like anybody. I think that's like part of the deal.
I feel like you're right. I feel like that is in fact the entire bargain is based around that.
Oh yeah, I mean the entire idea is like the whole 316. We out there, so loved.
So loved.
What?
Only begotten. We were there. We heard it. Yeah, that part kind of threw me for a loop because I was like, it just felt like a little bit like, aren't you guys supposed to be like super Catholic? Technically, he's not. He's the only person to ever be an ordained exorcist without being a priest. Like, okay, cool.
I do kind of. I was gonna say, is that actually a thing? Because I kind of love that the idea of no, dude. I'm straight up. I don't worship God, but absolutely great at getting rid of demons. Yes. Don't worry about it. That's amazing.
No, that is literally a part.
That is literally the thing.
Amazing. That's very funny.
It's their whole thing, and for whatever reason, they're okay with him doing it, and they're also okay with him giving like lectures in universities, and he's just like, yeah, so this is why I'm the only non-Catholic excommunicator in the whole Catholic Church. I will now take questions and
Irish.
money.
Hey. And he's like Protestant, and he's Ireland.
Yeah, you guys, you know the Irish.
Irish.
Hey, my name's Ed Warren
yes, I'm
here.
aware, but the way you said it was very funny.
Speaking of New York accents and wise guys, I went to an Italian market the other day.
How was that? Actually, no. Before I ask that, the way Jackson introed this to me when we were talking before stream, when Dan was stuck on a train, was so Noah, I went and visited your people today or the other day, and I'm like, oh, the Italians, and because I was just like, oh, what is it that I've made my whole brand around? Oh yeah, it's being Italian. And apparently Jackson found it funny that I immediately guessed the Italians.
Within like 2 seconds, he was like, "Oh, the Italians." I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh dang, he knows.
No, I went to a really cool Italian market.
Nice.
It's like a local Italian. You probably are familiar with their products. You can buy them in like Wegmans and Walmarts around here. They're called like Dalalo.
I'm not.
I don't know if you're familiar or not. They're like it's like an Italian product line. It's pretty cool. You can get them in stores. It's pretty good. But we went to their like market proper yesterday, and it was really cool. We got some stuffed flounder that was tasty.
Ooh.
The coolest thing though that I was the most impressed with, they had these bottles, and it says $3.95 for the bottles, and you fill them up with whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So for $3.95, I got like a bottle of like balsamic vinegar.
Ooh.
And then another $3.95, I got a bottle of red pepper infused olive oil.
Now that's a great deal.
It's such a good price for like these really cool glass bottles with like cork tops.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I don't know why,
really great.
but I'm a sucker for specialty packaged, regular, boring things. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and well, you have to fill up your own out of like these big vats. It's like its own little mini game.
I do love when they make video games in real life.
What a video game!
I can't believe the Italians of all people made video games in real life.
Oh my god! Speaking of video games in real life, I saw a trailer for this new movie. It's got the Deadpool guy.
Yeah, guy, dude. I actually am.
Yeah,
I thought the movie was gonna be so bad, and I'm still convinced it's gonna be bad. But I'm much more convinced that I'm gonna go see it now.
Wait, what movie?
Okay, good, because I was gonna say this looks like maybe the worst thing I've ever seen a trailer for.
It looks so bad. It's called Save Guy. It used to just be called Guy. Was the original title, but they changed it because they were like, dang, people are gonna get real confused. And it is basically a GTA 5 NPC gains sentience and has to save the game. That's it. That's the plot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's a movie?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It has Ryan Reynolds as apparently Ryan Reynolds was not only as the lead, but as like a very like this was one of his like brain children.
That sucks, man.
I'm gonna hold out, right? Because I think it's gonna be bad, but I think it's gonna be bad in the way that like
that you're gonna enjoy it a lot.
I really don't think so, because it looks like it's just a play-by-play. Like, what if we made the Lego movie with real?
I don't see the problem with that. The Lego movie is rad.
Yeah, but like it's not Legos, it's real people, and it's in GTA 5, and also it's just like Wreck-It Ralph too. It's just kind of weird. They're like in the real world, and they cut to the real world, and it's people who look exactly like the people in the game world, so it's really hard to have like a differentiation. I'm not sure they're gonna work that into the movie, but it just looks kind of eh.
And I'm agreeing with you 100%. It looks eh. I 100% am probably gonna go see it because I hate myself.
I don't think I'll see it because it does look bad, maybe aggressively bad.
I don't think it'll be aggressively bad. I think it'll be very passively bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's
there is something special about an aggressively
exciting
bad
enough to be aggressively bad.
That's fair.
Yeah, I saw there was a couple trailers like when I was at the movie theater, there was probably like one or two that I was like, that looks maybe like a fine thing to see, and then most of them I was like, why is that a thing? Why is there a Disney Jungle Cruise movie?
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, dude.
What does that mean? Has anyone seen anything about that? Like,
yeah, I saw the trailer.
Wait, how does that work?
Like you can see
it's a movie about a Disney Jungle Cruise?
Yeah.
Or it's a Disney Jungle Cruise that gives you an immersive movie experience.
I don't know, but it looks like a whole bunch of like colonial explorers on like the Congo or the Amazon. I don't really know. It's like the Heart of Darkness, but make it Disney. So I don't know what they're gonna do about all that, like,
colonialism,
rampant racism that is tied with
nothing. It's Disney. They're gonna do nothing about it, and they're gonna play it straight. And that's gonna be very upsetting.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's the main character.
Man,
it's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a safari hat, but didn't he already wear that exact same outfit in the Jumanji movie, which was also not very good?
Yes.
Whoa. I thought the Jumanji movie was incredibly passable.
You know what? I will agree. I think it was incredibly passable. I did watch it, and I thought it was like several months ago, and I thought it was a movie that I watched.
I did not watch it because I did not care.
I was in the same boat as you. And then I went out with some friends to watch it for fun, and it was a very worth my time experience. Okay. However, I would never purchase the movie.
That's fair.
Disneyland reopens a more inclusive.
Would you say that's like a 6 out of 10? No.
Yeah, solid 6, a strong 6 out of 10.
Okay.
No, I actually, yeah, I'd call it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Jokes aside,
ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah, why is it Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt on a literal colonial jungle cruise boat? Literally Heart of Darkness mode.
I
don't even understand.
I feel like there's just too many red flags to that story that, like, in my mind, they should have known better than to make it.
They absolutely should have, but I'm sorry, you forgot the most important thing, which is they think they're going to make money.
Also, I gotta bring up, what's going on with Snake Eyes? Like, they're making another G.I. Joe movie?
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm actively angry about it, because it's like, why? G.I. Joe was a tanked franchise, let it be dead, but also, I'm very interested in finding out how bad it's going to be, right? Because, like, from who I know who would, like, go watch it, I know none of the people who are in its demographic are going to dislike it. Just automatically. It's going to be a dumb fun movie and people are going to have dumb fun with it, right? But who asked for the Snake Eyes movie?
I won't lie to you.
Me when I was 8.
When you said Snake Eyes, I literally had to take, like, I saw like 6 seconds to process who the hell you were talking about.
Yeah, no, I didn't have like any G.I. Joe like action figures when I was a kid, but I had a single like Snake Eyes figure for some reason. And I don't know why, but like it didn't make any noise or anything. I don't even know why I knew his name was Snake Eyes, but I remember having like that solitary G.I. Joe figure, and I would like play with my sister's like Polly Pockets with her, but I would have my Snake Eyes character. That was like
rad.
I just remember he was like a ninja, and the one I had was like all white, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty sick. I mean, it was
there's
cool.
Actually, then that means you had Storm Shadow.
No, I need you to understand that nobody needed that.
No, I needed that.
No, there's so for Jackson and not Dan, there's Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow.
Please tell me they're brothers.
I don't remember if they're brothers, but they're from the same ninja clan.
Yeah. Is one of them good, one of them evil?
Yeah, yours was the evil and the black one's good, the white one's bad.
Oh my god. The truck I just got hit by. Another thing, so when we were in the theater, there were 2 trailers in a row that came on. The first one was Shang-Chi, and the 10 Rings or whatever.
Yeah, the Marvel thing.
The trailer for that played, and then the trailer for Snake Eyes played, and they looked about 80% the same in terms of like fast-paced action, and then there was just like, remember now your name is Snake Eyes, and the other one's like, remember now you have the 10 rings, and I was like, do they just make every action movie the same?
Yes,
they do.
And then the Guy trailer came on, and I was like, at least this one like is about a video game. The other ones are just like, remember,
and now your name is Guy.
The Snake Eyes one is like, he just like fights a whole bunch of people in a warehouse, and they're like, now you can come be a ninja. I was like, couldn't he just like go home?
No,
can't go home.
Now he can be a ninja.
Yeah, he saves some rich guy, and the rich guy's like, I'm actually not just a regular rich guy. I'm a ninja boss. And I'm like, why are you a ninja boss, man?
Boss ass ninja.
Why? If you're the ninja boss, why were you in the warehouse getting mugged? Wouldn't you just beat him up because you're the ninja boss?
You see, that's where you're wrong, Jackson. Actually, that was a test.
Yeah, I just like I don't know. And the Shang-Chi trailer was just like, remember, your dad hates you, and I was like, what? It was just like very much like shattered glass, fighting on staircases, fighting on scaffolding as well, pretty swag. And then more broken glass, and then one of them was I'm a ninja boss, the other one was your dad hates you, and then remember you're Snake Eyes now. Remember you got 10 rings now.
I mean, you got to remember.
And yeah, I just was like, huh. I do like Henry Golding, who is he's playing the main role in Snake Eyes.
I don't think I know him.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. You may know him from he was in Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, was he now? The more you know.
He was the main guy.
I actually never saw Crazy Rich Asians. I heard it was very good. And I never took the time to see it. I do actually regret that.
I also never saw it. because I have a massive gap in my pop culture knowledge.
What a mood!
You guys excited for the Green Knight?
I actually am. From everything I saw about it, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I like Arthurian knighthood and mythos. I think it's fun.
I don't think I heard about the Green Knight.
I think it's a good time because it's like, hey, they're using a public domain property again, but this time it's not Robin Hood. Like, I'm so excited. It's thank you for not picking Robin Hood.
I am sick of King Arthur. Hood.
I am too. I can't wait for 100 years from now when I'm still alive and I'm gonna make a Snake Eyes movie because it's gonna be public domain.
You say that like it's a bad idea.
Sorry, I'm just still looking at the IMDb page for Snake Eyes, and I'm just like, why are they making this? Like, and it's not even called Snake Eyes. It's called Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite part.
They're starting their G.I. Joe multiverse, dude. G.I. Joe Cinematic Universe.
No, I'm not kidding. I think they actually are.
No, I am also really not kidding. I also think they actually are.
It's definitely not something that I want. Once again, like what Jackson said, when I was a child, I desperately wanted this. I remember being really bummed out when after Rise of Cobra came out, they never gave us another movie. But it's also been like 70 years since then, and it's like, hey, how about we all acknowledge that it's dead. The franchise is done. We can be finished here. You know?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think it was best to just leave it. Just leave it be. It's not even a thing. People don't even have like G.I. Joes anymore. Like they're not really like just let it be, you know?
Mm-hmm. You know, that reminds me, my mom is cleaning out the house right now and just got rid of all my old G.I. Joes. Speaking of...
Did she already your Shadow Talon Flame or whatever his name is?
She did not, I don't think. I don't think he's one of the ones. I had, you know how like the regular G.I. Joes were like 12 inches tall?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
Yeah,
with all those
okay, so regular G.I. Joes are like 12 inches tall. I had a Snake Eyes G.I. Joe like action figure that was like 9 inches tall, and it was really annoying because he was an incredibly posable Joe. Mm-hmm. But he also was
small.
Yeah, he was smaller than all the rest of them, and that was frustrating.
Very funny.
I think my brother
Weaving is one of the lead characters in Snake Eyes.
Why?
Sorry, I'm still on this.
No, you're good.
That's what I saw. I was like, why is she? Isn't she like? All right, yeah, sure.
So I'm gonna need you guys to help me out with this real quick because for some reason I remember having an incredibly negative feeling toward Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson recently, but I don't remember why.
I vaguely remember that too. Shoot, what was he in trouble for? He had a bad take about something.
Did he? That sounds.
I mean, because I know like
that sounds like a thing.
I know that he was out here. Cruise? No, because he was doing some sort of deal with Bezos about something, and a lot of people were assuming he was the first person to buy like a space ticket. But I don't think that was the reason that I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm done with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I feel like there had to be. I really feel like there was something other than just me being like, wow, you would, and then moving on with my life, you know?
I didn't hear anything, but I am out of the loop. So also, I did remember the other movie that struck me as the exact same as Snake Eyes and Shang-Chi.
Oh.
Which was the Black Widow trailer, in which it started off in an amazing way by Scarlett Johansson saying, Black Widow is like nothing the MCU has ever seen before. And I was like, I don't know that that's true.
I heard Black Widow.
In fact, I don't know that any one of these movies that you're producing is unlike anything they've ever seen before.
I heard Black Widow was actually
to have
like
cars exploding and people rolling around.
Nina saw it and she said it was a movie.
Did she say it was unlike anything the MCU has ever put out before?
She did. She said, wow, this is so wildly good, unlike anything the MCU has ever put out before.
Because honestly, it struck me as way more boring than the trailer that followed it, which was the Shang-Chi. Because I was like, this one's got Awkwafina in it, and you know she blesses everything she touches. And then also, I saw that like the Guardian dog statues. One of them was like animated and giant, and I was like, that's cool as hell.
Are any of you going to watch Loki?
Nope. I'm not. Nina said it was pretty good, though.
I hated the second half of that show.
Really?
Is it already over? Why is everyone switching to the UK format?
I don't mind 6 episodes.
Just make like 12 episodes again.
That's fine. I'm here for that. I thought the first couple of episodes were so well done. I loved them so much. They were very well paced. They were like a little bit mystery, a little bit timey. It was great. Lots of Loki being Loki. It was great. And then by the end, Loki, I mean, I guess spoilers for audience, rather. Jump forward like 5 minutes. I won't take long on this. Fucking, by the end, Loki's just a fucking simp for himself. And it's uncomfortable. And the show just wants you to get on board with him falling in love with an alternate universe version of himself. And I just can't. Like, that's
Didn't
weird.
You say you'd fuck your clone?
I would, but I feel weird about it in fucking my television. If that's my kink, that is my kink. I don't want that kink to be represented. Fucking
bad take.
Bad take.
I think it's weird. I don't like it, but I also wouldn't fuck my clone.
I feel like it goes so quickly. Right, it jumps the shark so quickly. It just jumps the shark so fast, and if the show had kind of like what you said, Jackson, actually, if the show had either been split up into 2 seasons or it had an extra like 6 episodes in the season, I would have liked it a lot more, because literally it just goes so quickly, starting at episode 3 to the point where by it gets to the end, it's like, oh, look at this, look at how massive this betrayal is. And I'm like, you guys have been interacting for exactly an episode and a half. It's not a betrayal. There's been no build up for this. Nobody, like, I could not possibly care about what they were trying to make me care about by the end. And I just
yeah, I really hate when a movie's like, wow, isn't that awful? Wasn't it so sad to see that character die or leave?
Exactly.
Like, who was that? Did they have a last name?
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
The biggest offender is whenever any like property does the thing where they're like, all right, we got to kill off this character. And instead of just like killing off like a character in like a, you know, like an unspoken kind of like forgotten about way, they're like, all right, cut their arm off, and while they're bleeding out, we're going to talk about their mom.
Yeah. No, dude, You're
like, why? I don't know. Like, I didn't know you now. It's too late to make me care about someone as they're dying.
Yeah. And like who I don't want to like go deep into it because I genuinely understand that you guys do not care, and I totally respect that. But it made me so angry.
Loki unlike anything the MCU has ever seen.
It is actually. I actually believe that, but credit where it's due. I actually would say it is, but I think that it had such a strong baseline, and then decided, but we need a love story in here, and it has to be Loki falling in love with himself. Like, it's such a bad love. It's just gross. They even call it out in the show. He's like, dude, this fucking makes me sick. Your weird borderline incestuous love. You fell in love with yourself thing. And I'm like, yeah, good on you, Mobius. You call that shit out. I did see Nina's tweet about me. I don't really care. Me, I don't really. What was that? I don't really get on board with the Mobius stance. Also, me when Sylvie shows up, but it was supposed to be him. I appreciated that very much. I don't know, dude. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Some parts of it were really cool, and the VFX were really nice, but like, just, oh man, who could have imagined that this character who has said so many times that she would betray him at the earliest convenience ends up betraying him at the earliest convenience? Who could have seen this coming? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I can. That's really annoying.
God, whatever. Yeah, I'm good now. I had to say that to somebody, because I have way too many people in my life who, and I'm not judging Nina for it, because I'm sure that Nina has like a nuanced take on it, but I've got too many people in my life who are just like, but it was so good though. And look at all these things that were great.
If it makes you feel any better, there are so few things that I will just say that about, except for whatever reason I've just adopted a really strong stance for the Conjuring movies lately, mostly because people just seem to hate them, and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes they make me jump, and that is more than I can say about almost any movie.
Fair.
I'm here to defend them. If there's haters in listening, that's okay. You're allowed to not like them. But
I absolutely like. Please do or don't like whatever movies you like, but
do like
the movies that I like.
The Conjuring first. Noah, you've seen some of them, right?
I have seen most of them, in fact. I have not seen the first Annabelle. That's the only one I've missed out on.
I haven't seen either of the Annabelle movies, actually.
Actually, I guess there's a third Annabelle now, and I have not seen that either.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah. I've only seen Annabelle Creation, the second one. It was good, honestly. I enjoyed it. I don't like doll movies. But all in all, I didn't mind it at all. It wasn't, I don't know, it was fine, it was fine.
Hey, before I forget this, do you guys remember when I said, have I ever shown you the shirt off my Amazon wish list?
Yeah, you said that and then you wouldn't show us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I didn't want to show you because I think this is something that has the very real potential to hit you like a bus if you're at all like I was when I first saw this.
Okay.
This is a shirt that I actually would wear because I think it does have a very, very powerful aura to it.
Okay.
No, can I get you to put an image of this shirt up on the screen?
I mean, probably not, but we'll maybe.
Just click on the link and then look at it. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, I like that a lot.
Okay, so for those that can't see it, it is it's a shirt by Utopia Sport that in the Harry Potter font says Jar Jar Binks is my Patronus with a Jar Jar's face.
In the Harry Potter font.
I did say that.
In the Harry Potter font.
No, I didn't.
With Jar Jar's face.
Font. But yes.
Yep, he's right there.
That is Jar Jar's face.
Right in the middle of the Harry Potter font.
Wait, it's in Harry Potter's font?
I think so. Oh no, the customers also view these products as just a shirt with Jar Jar that says "Excuse me," and then some other stuff.
That's a good shirt. That's a good shirt, okay?
Oh, yeah, but it's not nearly as good.
Maybe those were the droids we're looking for shirt. This one's just like a nice promoting the Mos Eisley Cantina type of thing. It's like
I'm here for that. That's actually pretty good.
Come for no droids, stay for live music.
That's pretty good. I like that a lot, actually.
Where our friends don't like you and we don't like you either.
I like that. Very much.
I'm gonna say it. I think graphic T-shirts are one of the worst things that was ever invented.
I can agree.
I think most graphic tees. I think there are very few who can wear graphic tees out in the world and have it be part of an actual style and not just something that they threw on.
This is Jar Jar in a specimen jar on a T-shirt, and it says a Jar Jar jar.
I am a sucker for obviously ironic T-shirts, or like really bad graphic T-shirts. This is a good shirt.
No, it's not. Don't lie to me.
It's a shirt.
See,
I'm getting it in baby blue. Ooh, I like the gross olive green. I want to get that Jar Jar shirt.
I can't believe it. I can believe it, but like I don't want to.
No, I've thought for long and hard for years about getting the Jar Jar Binks as my Patronus shirt. Because if there's two things I hate, it's Star Wars and Harry Potter.
And if there's three things, it's Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Marvel.
I mean, yeah, in terms of properties. But I feel like this shirt is something that the MCU has never seen before.
I think it is.
I feel like
this Jar Jar Binks is my Patronus shirt is nothing like anything the MCU has ever seen before. It was such a funny like lead into a trailer, only to have it immediately followed by like people punching each other and then a car flipping over.
Only to be followed by something we've seen in every single MCU episode.
Yeah, I was like, I just feel like maybe you should have followed it up with like, oh, you have actual like funny jokes and not really, really awful jokes. No, they didn't follow up with that.
No.
But Tony Stark witty, guys. He witty. You're right. He is. But what's his Patronus?
Probably Jar Jar Binks, dude. You hear that about him a lot. He's like, oh, my Patronus, it says Jar Jar Binks.
That's why everyone was so weirded out when they decided that they were going to make entire movies about him back in the day. They were like, damn, I can't believe Robert Downey Jr. as Jar Jar Binks is his Patronus. And they're letting him have a movie.
I think it would be hilarious if in the next Avengers or whatever, they were like, hey, everything's the same, but every couple minutes, like Captain America just tells a joke in a Jar Jar Binks voice.
I'm here for that.
Like everything's the same, but he's like, Misa like shield, and everyone's like, yeah, and like no one acts like it's out of the ordinary. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I think it would. Great. I think it would be really great if at one single point, only one person asks something and someone just answers, "Oh, he's catching up on his pop culture."
I think they do that bit.
Oh, they do. Never mind.
They should never do that bit. They should just pretend like it's not a bit. They should never acknowledge the Jar Jar voice. They should just let him do it.
I kind of want to hear Samuel L. Jackson say that though.
Do a Jar Jar? You want to hear Sam Jackson do a Jar Jar?
I don't want to hear him do a Jar Jar. I just want to hear him say the words, because I don't want him to try and do that type of thing going on. But I do want to hear him just in his usual delivery.
Say Misa.
Yeah, I just want him to say
Misa tired of these motherfucking snakes.
Yeah, I think that would be funny.
I think it'd be really good if every time any character moved past each other in most movies they would said "excuse me" in the Jar Jar voice.
Excuse me.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Remember that time that I quoted Newt Gunray and you were about ready to slap me because you had been defending me? And then I said, was that legal? And then you immediately were ready to like boot me off the podcast.
I think the worst part about this is you know that guy's name.
Man.
Newt Gunray?
Yeah, Newt
Isn't that the guy?
Leader of
the guy who ran for president in 2012?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. It's why he lost. Didn't have enough droidicas.
It wasn't legal.
Legal. So I actually, Jackson, I've been thinking about you a lot because I saw the Glub Shido meme again.
I like how Glub Shido has become. It's blowing up.
It's because I saw someone talking about the original Thrawn trilogy, which is widely regarded as, you know, one of those like pinnacles of it's a pinnacle
bad.
Of Star Wars.
That's what you're talking about.
But the Thrawn trilogy includes Luke with 2 U's, the evil clone of Luke.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Isn't that just what they call shrimp in Australia?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
It also includes Joris Kaboth
So.
and his evil clone, Joris Kaboth with 2 U's.
I'm sorry, how do you pronounce that?
Joris Kaboth? Maybe it's
where's the U?
Joris.
Maybe. I'll let it slide.
But the evil clone has 2 U's in his name instead of 1.
So you know
who's making the clones?
Joris Saboth. Kaboth?
With 1 U?
Yeah. He cloned himself.
So he cloned himself.
Maybe Thrawn cloned him?
And the clone was evil.
I don't think Thrawn cloned him. I think Thrawn just uses him.
No, that was an old school thing that the Emperor did to see if you could clone a Force user. That was part of the whole thing. Is you found out that you couldn't clone a Force user because it made them evil because they went crazy.
Why?
Yeah,
but why?
The midi-chlorians.
Don't worry about it.
You couldn't clone the midi-chlorians properly.
You're just making. They just made this shit up, huh?
They did. They did.
1, all stories are made up. 2.
See,
yeah, but some of them are made up weird.
The most important part here is that thinking about Glub Shido made me think of Italian horror because stay with me here. Much like you can say, oh yeah, Glub Shido, everyone's favorite Star Wars character, you can also many Italian slasher villains cut down to the same thing where it's like, oh yeah, Francisco with the knife hands who escaped from knife hand asylum. And that's like, oh no, it's the guy who kills people with giant scissors.
That's so funny.
Isn't that the clock tower?
Yeah, that's so Clock Tower was based on Phenomena.
Wait.
Yeah. Phenomena had one scene where someone got killed with these highly polished scissors, and that's what Clock Tower's based on.
Dan, not only do you know about Clock Tower, but you also know about the Italian horror movie it was based on.
Shout out to Nina for that one. I didn't know jack shit about Clock Tower. She knew. She's the only one that knew about that. But yeah.
You just don't talk, run from Scissor Man.
But yeah, you know, good old Glub Shido. It's good to see Glub Shido making the rounds.
I think we ought to start rapping here.
I think you're right.
I think that's the case because I think I'm gonna get Indian food for dinner.
Ooh,
I'm hungry.
That sounds fantastic.
There's this grocery store right across the street from us that sells like samosas. I don't know if they're allowed to because like it seems like because sometimes I'll go in there and I'll be like, oh, I need to buy some butter, so I'll just head over to it. It's like an Indian grocery store. But if I'm going to like buy butter, sometimes they'll just have like the Aldi brand of butter, and I'm like, are they allowed to do that? I don't know. And
are
then
you gonna narc
sometimes, no, I'm not gonna narc on them. And if anyone who's listening to this episode narcs on them, I'll know. And then like they just have like samosas, but they have like hot like samosas in like a little like case, but they don't have anything else that they cook, and I don't know. And they're pretty cheap and they're good, so I buy them. But I'm always like, are they allowed to have samosas? Are they allowed to just like have food? But then I don't ask, and I just buy them because they're good.
I mean, why bother?
But that's not the Indian food I'm talking about. I think we're at the other place close by.
Nice, good for you.
Maybe.
I'm excited for a week of Asian food and whatever my father-in-law will be cooking, which is going to be something grilled or smoked, I'm sure. I'm pretty stoked.
Oh, have you ever had a K-Dogs before or Korean corn dogs before?
I have not. I remember you talking about them.
You gotta get some K-Dogs when you're in Seattle because they have some spots there, some pretty famous spots.
Okay. I'll let Nina know. We'll put it on our official to-do list.
You gotta get them. They're so good. So good.
Nice.
And I think this is a good place to wrap because now I'm just getting hungrier.
I think so too.
I also am hungry. I have not eaten all day, so I need to go take care of that.
All our links are in the show notes if you want to follow us anywhere. Twitter at the Off the Air, Patreon Off the Air. Go to find Off the Air on Apple Podcasts. Even if you don't listen to us there, it does us a world of good for you to give us a review. As of right now, we're sitting at a nice little 4.7 out of 5. We beat Joe Rogan, we found out, so suck it, Joe. But we do still need to beat the Office ladies. They're still sitting at a 4.8, and it's going to be a little difficult for us to do that. So if anyone could help us with that, that would be pretty cool. While we're here, mm-hmm. I need to poll you guys on something.
Yeah.
Even though the COVID Delta variant is currently spreading out of control, nationally, we have lifted most restrictions. So I feel like this is an important time to ask, is this time for us to stop tagging the episodes as CoronaCast? Have we officially moved past the CoronaCast era?
Yes, because we're all three vaccinated. We're all vaccinated, right? And Delta variant is like, what? The vaccines are what, 70-something percent effective against Delta?
Reasonably, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's like a pretty high percentage. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy to stop calling it COVIDcast.
CoronaCast.
Are you guys still recording? Should I still be recording?
I'm still recording. Are you still recording?
He stopped. Jackson, we're free from Jackson, from the tyranny of Jackson now.
Oh, no, I'm still recording.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said.